Any question? Does anybody do anything what in the ride over?
I asked Gerb how they're going to take care of this, because I'm not. What do you guys have planned for this one?
Apparently, it includes ousting our existing leader.
I got it.
Sitting back having a drink, smoking a pipe weed like Frodo.
Well, I think the best plan is to offer RB as a sacrifice, and that way we can get what we need.
The best idea I've heard so far. So,
is he going to be dressed like a fancy lady?
Who, me or me or the Uktena?
He's dressed like a fancy lady.
Hey, well, I'm beginning to assume that this werewolf's just going to be a really nice person. We're going to say, "Hey, do you want to come with us?" Okay. Kind of like that.
All right. So, you guys noticed though that during the trip though, the Agmar Runebreaker is spending a lot of time beating the crap out of Bob, Bowery Bob.
We're training, and if you didn't, I got he ripped one of my ears off. So I've got a new battle scar.
Mike and I sit back, kind of like Waldorf and Stadler, and comment.
That happens for one day, and then anytime. Though I respect the position of a ragabash, I beat you into a pulp. I allow you to run, but yeah, current time.
Anybody else doing like exploring around oh, go ahead. Sorry, Dale.
No. I was gonna say I'm gonna join in on the wrestle. Yeah, I'm Enoch is looking to
Chaska, you mean? Chaska,
well,
you mean?
Sorry, Enoch is technically his first name.
No.
He's a junior.
Sure.
Chaska is definitely he's looking to up his physical game. So anything he can learn from Bob or Agmar regarding any sort of, melee, brawl, martial arts, you name it, melee, the whole 9 yards, anything he's got.
Melee
okay.
I can do. I just went to 5 in that, but I'm not a fisticuffs kind of guy, as we learned last week when I looked at my sheet. It's only a 2.
Anybody who can teach me physical, I'm in.
If you train with Agmar, though, you roll for a battle scar.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, so if anybody wants any martial trainings by the 6th rank Get of Fenris, any dot you learn, you have to roll for a battle scar. That's how it goes.
That's insane.
That ain't pretty fucking badass.
If it was any other tribe, it probably wouldn't have to roll for a battle scar, but yeah. All right. So anything else? RB. So what you suggested, unless your sub leader has any umbrage with that, then that's fine. If you send your guys out.
That gets not just 1 thumbs up, that gets 2 thumbs up.
And
is RB on?
Yeah. Ryan's there.
Because all I see is an R. I don't see his handsome face.
No, he's there. You might have to log back in. No, I see everybody.
Is he wearing a dress?
No.
But is he silent?
Oh, Ryan, you're there. Say something. No, we can't hear you.
Hear you.
I see you.
I may be wearing a dress under the shirt.
Well, that's because it's fancy lady night.
Yeah, it is fancy lady night.
I always take for granted you're wearing a dress into that.
Yeah. All right. So, moving forward, you guys end up. You weren't able to find any moon bridges that would take you to Sun Arrow, the closest one. So it actually a bulk of your time. You were easily able to travel through the Ember to the nearest moon bridge that took you to a worm bringer. Well, a worm comer, and it was an Iron Rider Cairn that was newly established, very young. It was only like a rank 1 Cairn, wasn't that strong. That was the closest one that your Theurges were able to help nail down to get you as close as you could to Sun Arrow.
I can imagine the Iron Rider surprised when we popped out.
Well, you had the spirits were able to tell you it's you can never show up to a Cairn unexpected unless you're attacking them. So, Ryan, say something. No, can't hear you still. Try log back in.
So
That's
we should show up at Cairns and attack them, right? Is that what you said?
And as you guys get, go ahead.
Do we know what native tribe this Uktena Cairn is linked to?
Yes, it's linked to the Hopi.
Hopi. Okay.
Yeah. And as you guys journey closer in, everybody roll your perception.
Yeah.
All right, random roll. Perception gnosis.
I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
Just make it as just roll like a perception alertness, and then would take many modifiers to add it up to whatever you have in gnosis.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty of an 8. No, I'm sorry. 7.
Then I have 1.
Okay.
4 successes.
4 successes.
Ooh.
All right. All right. Let's see here. Let me. Perception to. All right. Ryan. Oh, there you go.
Here, and I can talk.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Ryan, roll 4 dice.
Here I thought we'd be lucky and Arby lost his voice all night.
Oh, boo!
How can you talk for treasured guest if we can't hear you? Roll 4 dice.
He's going to have to use charades.
Yeah. Roll your perception gnosis. I already checked, Ryan. It's a 4. So roll 4 dice.
Difficulty 6.
Oh, there was 7. Smash Mouth. All right, 1 success.
And it's also like they're not allowed in Cairn Smash Mouth.
That's a good plan.
All right. Everybody that rolled a 1 got 1 success. As you guys get closer there, you notice that there's some static in the air as you're getting closer to the cairn. Those with 2 successes do sense some residual worm emanations. It's not existing, but you sense there is some that were there. There was worm spirits there at one point, fairly recently, and that's 1 success, and that's 4. And then Chaska with 4 successes. You sense that there was an umbral storm that came through here very recently.
I announced that to the group.
You guys, the mayor says, this is as far as I'm going to be able to go. Something very wrong has happened here.
Well, that's good.
Are we in the Umbra or are we in the actual world?
You're in the actual world.
Hey, Barney?
Yeah.
I was already going to do this, but now that we know that there's some fucked up shit going on, I'm going to do Omen of Truth.
Okay.
Player spends a Gnosis point and makes a Perception plus Enigmas roll. Difficulty varies from 9 in a featureless sealed space to 5 in a forest at sunset. The gift takes a minimum of 1 full minute to use, and I just gain -1 difficulty when essentially figuring out what's going on, what we need to do.
All right.
So it's Perception Enigmas. What's my difficulty?
6.
Let's see.
You guys, as you get, so who's it? 1 success. All right. Who's the first one out?
I am.
You're greeted with immediately. You're greeted with some kinfolk who are like putting their hands in the air, and they're saying something in a language you don't think, and they're kind of like going like this to you. Sag, are you out of the stagecoach now?
Yeah.
The first thing that you notice that really throws you back a bit is that, and Hearthstone notices this as well. There's no cairn water. You're greeted by kinfolk first.
Okay.
I'll try speaking Sioux to see if anyone knows it, or then move to English.
They're waving their hands, and they seem to be pretty frantic and not wanting you all to get closer to go into the village.
Sense worm.
You sense there's no worm there. There is a bit of worm, but not. It's like, I would put it this way. It's like when you go on a road trip and your car's dirty, you're not still on the road, but there it's like, your car's filthy. So it's in that sense where there was something, and as Chaska told you all, an umbral storm came through.
Do kinfolk sometimes speak Garu?
You can sense their kinfolk. You can try to talk in Garu to them.
Yeah, I'll be getting off the coach as well at the moment.
Try that. Just
Okay.
walking towards them. If they want us to go away, I'll head towards them. And then they'll come closer.
Right?
All right. So
What's happened here?
they say you
I
see
think
that.
we're all off the buggy at this point, right?
Okay. You see this woman approach. Do you guys see her?
No.
She,
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
It's
What-
over to the right some more.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That kind of jumps out at you.
She says, she looks at all of you, and she looks at Chaska, and she kind of squints a bit. And she says, and she looks at Chaska and she says, "You're all very, very late."
The storm has come through?
The storm has come through and has taken a lot of the Bane spirits.
We wish we could have been. We wish we could have been here sooner to help protect your land. But we come to ask a favor, and we come willing to help where we can.
What is it you ask?
Do we know the name of the person we're looking for?
Yeah, True River.
We seek True River's assistance.
She sighs and waves you on with her walking stick.
I approach kind of from behind, off to the left or right, whichever is kind of most appropriate, and ask. We have an abundance of things that we might be able to offer. Please let us know if there's anything that we can give you to help here.
At this point, you see the 3 6-rank Garo are walking in behind you all. You notice that Shadja the Souls is just grabbing the dirt and smelling it, and she's looking around like she's just, like a kid experiencing her first Christmas. She's just oblivious to any of the emotions in the area. You see Treasured Guest is has a notebook, and he's just writing some things down and sharing it and passing the notebook over to Runebreaker, and Runebreaker's nodding. You guys walk down into the canyon. As you get further and further down, you see toppled over trees. You see skittering through. You see some places where there's been a tear in the gauntlet, and you just see some spirits just kind of like floating through, almost like as if you're like peering through a glass, like one of those glass bottom boats where you can just see everything that's underwater. That's basically, you see some of those pieces where it like rips in the gauntlet, and you just have a clear view. Anybody, just even a regular old person, could just have a clear view of what's in the Umbra. You see a lot of bodies. You see a lot of kinfolk dead. You see a lot of animals. You see a lot of wolves ripped apart. As you get further down into the valley, the first thing that, and you don't even have to roll perception alertness. It's extremely, extremely obvious. You see at the bottom there's seems to be like a body of water, like just a shallow part of a river that's kind of opened up into a large, almost like pond area. And you see in there, surrounded by, it looks like a lot of 3 or 4 dead, pretty large Bane spirits, along with it looks like some sort of Fomori type creatures that seem to be dead around it as well. As you see that giant snake. Go over to the left. And it's ripped apart and dead. And Blessinghome points down, and she says, "There's True River." One of the more powerful spells an Uktena can do is turn into Uktena himself in great desperation and need.
So just so I understand, he's dead?
Yeah, he's.
All right, that was more Mike to Barney, not Phil. Just saying that out loud.
Yeah.
So that would be funny.
He died. He died. He basically died defending the cairn from the Storm Eater, and now that's a level 6 Uktena gift, is to turn into Uktena, the avatar of Uktena itself, which is this giant horned serpent.
Who I ask her, I say, it's terrible, it's glorious but terrible to lose such a great warrior, such a great Geru. RB, pass the bottle.
Pass the fire water.
Yeah. Who is currently your leader now?
It seems to be me. I was the keeper of the lands, and now a lot of our other Sept mates have perished as well, and the ones that lived have been sent out into the Umbra to track down the Bane spirits that we were supposed to keep asleep. There's only about 10 of us left that are just maintaining the Sept and taking care of the dead.
And I know that she's kinfolk. She's not.
No, she is. She's the one that kind of approached after the kinfolk did.
Oh, I see.
She's the one they understood. Yeah.
Yeah. By looking at her, can we tell approximate rank?
You can sense she's probably between, like, I would, a very new, a very established second rank, I guess. She might be on the verge of getting into her Adern. No, Foster. No, what the heck is the third one? Anyway, third
Foster
rank.
Second.
Yeah. Athro, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I show some visible disappointment.
Yeah.
And I lay it on the line at this point. I just explained to her what we need. We are setting out. We've set out on an adventure, if you will, to defeat the Stormbringer, and we need the assistance of the greatest among the tribes, or the greatest among the Geru nation. Who do you know now of your people that is currently the greatest?
She says her eyes seem to well up and out of rage and sadness, and she says, "Your story makes sense. The Storm Eater, one of the ones that spoke through him, it was a trio of dead bodies that were raised from the ground, and said that the Storm Eater is looking for anyone that is as powerful as True River, and he's actively seeking out and destroying them because he knows that there is a right that will destroy him, and he knows what needs to happen."
Is she speaking in English? Are we able to understand this?
In Geru. She's talking in Geru.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know the ritual's viable then.
She looks up and sees the 3 rank 6, and she says, "With them with you, you're shining as bright as the sun into the Umbra."
Uh-oh.
Well, we knew that was going to happen.
You're right. And I hate to say it, but it's actually might be better if they're attacking us rather than the isolated ones. Because I think we'd have a better chance of protecting ourselves if that does happen.
This was an entire cairn that was destroyed. You think, honestly, the 5 of us plus these 3.
Plus everybody in the town.
Yeah.
I agree with Phil. Woo's not here, but Woo alone could handle most of that.
She says, I know.
Shit.
What's going on? I wasn't paying attention for a second there.
I'm not sure if that's Bob saying that or Chris.
No, Chris saying that, but also Bob saying that. Are we worrying about a storm?
Remember, Mike, he's missing 2 parts of his skull, so
yeah, that's kind of why I was a little worried.
No, but it's not brain damage though. He didn't get that high of a roll. So.
Sure, we believe that.
No, I was looking around.
Yeah, what's happening is the Stormbringer knows our plan is working to prevent it.
I heard that.
Yeah, it was expected.
What are we worried about?
Pale River.
he's killing the 6 ranks before we can get to him.
Then they're not strong enough. We had a maelstrom blow through Harrowgate twice. Well, this is our destiny.
I'm not going to make
we'll
it correct.
Find the
Never
ones
mind.
that are strong.
Blessing Home says that Sings with Spirits is inside the Bane prison. And he is doing the best he can to make sure everything else is clean. He might know of somebody, of another Uktena of equal rank as True River, but I know he was very rare.
Then can you take us to him?
She points in through a cave, and she points in through there's a cave behind the buildings. And she sighs and she points to some of her kinfolks and kind of points to some bodies to get picked up.
Barney, is it? We're in the real world, right?
Correct.
Is it overcast?
No, it's bright and sunny, man. I hope you got a parasol with you.
I've got my umbrella. Yeah.
Albino.
I forgot that we were in the real world. I would have stepped out with an umbrella.
I will point. I'm not going to point out the one who said the 6 ranks aren't strong enough. It's walking around with a little parasol right now.
Are you twisting it as you say it?
Hey, Mike, take a point of wisdom.
Yeah, if I knew he was carrying a parasol, I definitely would have commented.
I imagine you're wearing like a white hat, like almost something from the Island of Dr. Moreau or something, like to cover up your scars.
No, an umbrella works. No, I don't care about the scar.
I was thinking of something more like the old ladies at the Kentucky Derby.
All right, so you guys go into that network of caves. I'll just highlight it. Dale, as a player, you probably recognize it from when you played Enoch. It's over to the right.
Ah, yes. I hated this thing. It was uterus.
I don't remember this.
No, you weren't. You didn't play this game. You didn't play this episode.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Looks like
Each one of those little dots you see as you guys walk through, you do see some lupus kind of run by with some sigils painted on them. You can tell they're just low-level Theurges or Galliards that are just kind of taking care of anyone. You guys haven't sensed anyone higher than a rank 3 in this entire cairn.
Can we take 2 rank 3s and like put them together?
You do see a lot of dead bodies. You see that there's every one of those little circles represents a cage or an area where there was a Bane spirit that was asleep. You see that some of them seem to be there's a lot of them that are missing. A lot of them have been taken away. It's a bright cave. For some reason, it seems preternaturally glowing, almost as if like the cave walls themselves. There's sigils and symbols that are like painted on that seem to be giving it an unnatural like orange hue like inside the entire place. Almost like it's like pieces of sunlight that it seemed to be drawn on there.
We don't have a party Theurge right now, do we?
Nope, they're all dead.
I asked Chadya then. Aren't Bane spirits bad things?
Shadya says, yes, then this is what the Uktena keep the Bane spirits asleep so they don't harm anyone.
Well, why are they keeping them asleep? Why don't they kill them? I'd say this loudly. I don't understand.
Because they're pussies. Player says that, not character.
She says, the Uktena have taken it upon themselves for millennia to get as much information about our enemy as possible, and the best thing to do for that is having live Bane spirits to learn from, and they keep them asleep.
So they keep live Bane spirits here to interrogate. I can't imagine the Bane spirits are very forthcoming, and then they get a chance to get loose and, well, let's just say give a little payback.
That's why you only have Galliards and Theurges mostly that are considered Bane Tenders. The Galliards sing them to sleep while the Theurges interrogate them in their dreams.
Lullabies?
RB never sings me to sleep.
I have a wonderful singing voice.
I'm sure he'd be happy to cuddle you, Bob.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a wolf pile. Time to get cold.
As you guys, so as you get further in, you do see that there are some places where you do see some Uktena and Glabro, and some in Krenos that have these long, it looks like these long peace pipe type things, kind of touching and prodding some giant, like oily, slimy creatures that seem to be asleep. You see two of them that seem to be alive. Then you see some others that are a couple of Bane spirits that are dead, and then other ones that seem to have just ripped in through the walls and have escaped off into the Umbra. It's either they've escaped or they were taken by the Storm Eater or denizens from the Umbral Storm.
So how do you kill Bane spirits? Anything special?
In the Umbra. Oh, anybody can answer. Anybody want to answer that for RB?
This is well, RB doesn't know either, but I also don't know. Do bullets work? Or do I have to turn into one of those fuzzy things again?
Fuzzy things again? Really?
Claws work just fine in the Umbra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically what you would do is that in order to, you can't, Bane spirits don't really exist in the real world. They exist inside the Umbra. And in order for a Bane spirit to be in the real world, it has to possess something. And once they possess something, they become a Fomori. Yeah. And
Fomori you can kill with bullets.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the way you can kill it, you'd kill it by aggravated damage inside the Umbra. So claws work just fine to a Bane spirit.
You pretty much just got to overkill it.
Yeah, and Bane spirits have their own special powers called charms, which they can utilize either to like create fear or have barbed tentacles. It's all different. So
yeah, I recall those.
Yeah,
chapters.
And as you guys walk further down, everybody roll your. No, you see, Sings. This gentleman here seems to be of the highest rank you can possibly find. He's a 3rd rank. He seems to be ordering around the kinfolk and the lesser ranked Garrows that are around. Like I said, there's only about a dozen of them left.
I'm guessing he's a bad guy.
He looked at.
He looks up at you all and seems to be kind of taken aback a bit. And he basically kind of echoes the same thing that Blessingham says. He says, "You're late. You're too late."
We wish we could have been here sooner.
Story of my life.
Are you here to help clean up or help to bury the dead?
We can.
We'd like to do some of both.
Oh, RB, physical labor never killed anybody.
Duh.
The funny thing about that, Mark, is that it's completely untrue.
Not helping.
Do you guys want to help clean up?
Yeah, I think we should.
I think so.
I guess.
All right. So there's jobs of disposing of the bodies in a ritual format. There's other jobs of cleaning. There's other jobs of lulling a couple other Bane spirits to sleep. I don't think there's any galliards here.
Is there any killing need to be done of Bane spirits?
No.
No.
You're not rethinking your plan now? I just feel like say to them. You're not.
So I mean, you know that they were doing fine for 500 years, keeping these Bane spirits asleep.
And that's actually what I echo. That's what I say is they've done their job for 500 plus years, for several hundred years. We should show them some respect for having done this work, having gotten us information, and having fought and sacrificed considerably.
Don't we want to grill this guy about more rank 6s first, though?
Why don't we help them? Then maybe they'll be more forthcoming rather than us demanding answers right up front as soon as we walk in the door.
Yes, guys, keep it right now. You guys are fellow Garu, but as soon as the dust settles, you guys are going to be wormcomers. So right now, it's you're helping them out in a crisis. It's similar to when I was after the earthquake in Pakistan. Nobody cared I was an American. They cared that I was helping them out. But once everything was fixed, then people started asking what country I was from. So that was a time to go. So,
so don't fix it. If we fix it, they're going to start treating us like shit. You know what you're saying, Barney?
No, I'm just giving you an analogy. I'm just giving you
okay. So we should sabotage their repair efforts.
Yeah, let's show a little respect for now. I imagine when we had to bury a lot of our losses, we would have appreciated the help.
Through passing, who has the highest charisma performance or leadership or?
Yeah, baby.
What are you looking for? I got you charisma subterfuge or charisma.
I have charisma leadership at a 6.
I have charisma leadership at a 7. I have charisma
leadership at a 2.
Charisma empathy as an 8.
Trying to think because
both of those points are in leadership, not charisma.
What's your points in, like, friends? If anybody wants to glean information, what role would you make for you individually? Your character.
Probably charisma subterfuge.
All right, what's that roll for you?
Me?
Mine's a 7.
Here's
Niner.
a 7. Here's a 9. All right, you can get while you're doing it, well, as I said, because this is a very sensitive time for them because their cairn is pretty much destroyed. You can get answers to 4 questions, Mike. You can answer to 2 questions if you want, Kate.
Bernie, my manipulation intimidation is an 8.
Yeah, but that's not going to work. And
They're weak right now.
There's only one way you can find out if it does work.
You take someone aside and you shake them up a bit.
Yep, literally just pick them up, start shaking them.
You think these Bane spirits are bad?
Hey, Barney, what about like perception or even charisma, empathy?
Yeah. What's that roll for you?
7.
7? You can get 2 questions answered just in helping them out.
Charisma. Can I do charisma empathy 2 as an 8?
Yep. Charisma empathy at an 8, you can get 3 questions answered.
I don't want to use manipulation.
Yeah, that works. Go ahead. What kind of Mike? What kind of questions do you want?
Try to ask where some of the strongest members of the pack went if they didn't fall in battle. That'd be one.
So they tell you that a lot of the stronger ones who didn't fall, the rank 3s, the 4s, and the 5s, who didn't fall, went out to chase after the Storm Eater on a fool's errand. Basically, is what you know about the Storm Eater,
Right.
Because the Storm Eater is still very far away. He has denizens that he sends out that come in the form of these umbral storms. And inside these umbral storms, if you recall, some of them actually had these like ghost riders in the sky kind of stuff in them. So he has these denizens that he sends out. So, RB, do you have a question you want to ask?
How about, do they know of any other, or what are the closest Uktena cairns to here? Other ones.
Other cairns that are Uktena cairns?
Yeah, other Uktena cairns.
They say, and they basically say that there's a few, and there's in a 100-mile radius, but they go by miles, but in say like in a day's horse ride in a radius around, there's one other cairn in the area, but it's very young. It's splintered off from the Sun Arrow cairn.
So none of comparable rank that they know of.
Oh, so that they do say that there is there is a rumor of there's being a very powerful Uktena that is that disappeared in the Amazon.
Oh boy! Hope you got your vaccines.
Where does their umbral bridge connect to?
So one connected to Harrowgate.
Whatever
No,
happened
not
to that
Harrowgate.
place?
Paradise Valley. Sorry, Paradise Valley.
Yeah, not Harrowgate.
Yeah, no, Paradise Valley. No, Devil's Pride. I'm sorry. It was the Black Fury one. Devil's Pride, Karen.
There.
Yep, and they did have one also that was most of them were connected to other Uktena, and there's one Wendigo cairn that was connected to further north. There's 2 Uktena cairns, Devil's Pride, and then there was a Wendigo cairn up north. And the 2 Uktena cairns were one that was further. One that was both of them were further south. All right, and that was your Kate. You have a question? You have to think of that you can ask.
Yeah. Not specifically Uktena, but what are the strongest cairns in the area beyond Sun Arrow? Wendigo or even other?
Besides the Uktena?
Yes.
They do mention there's the only one that's of equivalent power to them is there's a child of Gaia Cairn that is about for a 4-day horse ride away.
If he's picking off 6th rank, we can't afford just to look for Uktena. We need if it's a child of Gaia equivalent to this, there might be a 6th rank there that's the Storm Eater's next target. We may need to look into that.
Do we have to start separating our rank 6? Are we creating too much of a giant lore for the Storm Eater?
The good news is that because like Harrowgate itself, when it was a town, actually ended up having it had an arcane about it. Like you couldn't find the town. So the good news is that it's kind of like flipped in on itself. So whoever's inside the stagecoach can't be found. It's just when they're outside.
I would think the only danger with us and the Stormbringer is the Stormbringer, right?
Yeah.
I'd say
Storm
Storm Eater, my mistake. I say the only danger is it seeing what path we're going on and trying to cut us off, so to speak. Hey, you're heading towards this rank 6. I'm going to kill him first.
Because the stagecoach can be tracked, but whatever's inside the stagecoach can't. It's unknown what's inside the stagecoach.
I mean, should we actually? And I know this is very impractical and what someone would say in a horror movie, but should we possibly split up to get rank 6 faster?
My only thought is if we split up too much, we kind of run into what's happening now, where they're using video game terms, getting ganked before we get there.
Is that really a video game term?
Yeah, getting ganked.
People say it in video games, ganked.
Yeah.
But
using a term used in video games.
Yeah.
Or we could even, how many kinfolk do we have that are interested in scouting for us?
Probably not enough.
Where did your 2 guys go?
One went to the nearest city.
That was a joke. That was the...
Meanwhile,
I sent my guys already.
Walking into the Uktena car. Hey, everybody! We brought the silver bullets.
Oh, you guys are going to be happy when those silver bullets arrive.
Oh yeah,
all wrapped up in a bow.
My only thought is we've seen how disagreeable some of the rank 6s currently are. Not going to name any names, but they might be with us. If you send a random kinfolk to see them, it may go poorly.
I mean, just to bring the message, all I need to do is walk forward with a little scroll and say a message for your rank 6. I bow away. Please read it.
How do you think? Yeah, how do you think the Getaway responded to that?
Well, we'll send
They'd have sent your boy home in a box.
Yeah,
No,
some people do believe in the theory of killing the messenger.
It would make sense, but I hate to say it, any rank 6 we come across, and I think this is kind of true for most of our group, is likely to be mentally addled in some way.
Hey, treasure guest is not addled.
Right. So there's 1 of 3 who's fairly normal.
Mentally, he's
good. Tip the hat, you got me there. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of scouting, but I'm kind of worried they won't come back.
I don't like the idea of scouting because then that just sends somebody from us to them unprotected. And we know that somebody's hunting those folks down anyway.
Yeah, but if they're getting to them first.
And if we're the ones that lead them there.
But we didn't lead them here.
So as you guys are talking, as you're kind of cleaning up some things, helping out, the Blessing Home invites you all to spend the night. It's a moot. They have to do a moot anyway for the Rite of the Departed.
Do they want it to be private, or do they want us to attend?
You all, yeah, you're invited to attend as Garu.
Then I'll attend.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if they're willing to have us there, then we should show.
Yep.
Arby changes into his best tuxedo for the
I hope it's dedicated.
All right.
You'll be expected to howl at the end of this.
It's a pretty mournful moot that happens. A lot of the SAG as a menace, this is something that kind of like pulls at you a little bit, that you come to the realization that True River was a menace. That's why he didn't turn back into his breed form after he died. He would have turned to Garu form, but because he took on the aspect of the Uktena, he's stuck in the giant 40-foot snake form.
way cooler way to die.
I want that gift.
Yeah.
Gotta be a 6-rank Uktena.
That can be done.
Yeah.
The Geta Fenris have something similar called Colin the Great Fenris Wolf, where I think actually you call Fenris to help.
Maybe I can turn into a giant locomotive.
A giant rope transformer like robot.
And as the moot's happening, you do see a couple other rank 3s and another rank 4 kind of show up as that it come back from the Umbra, went out to do some searching for some errant Bane spirits. Anybody do anything in particular during the moot?
Just follow along with, their traditions.
All right.
All when we need to, take whatever form is appropriate.
Yeah.
The whole when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
It's what's kind of interesting for all of you is that some of these are you can tell they're in general are basically the same per tribe, especially in the Rite of the Gathering Departed. Some of these moots but it has a different flavor and a different skin to it. So it definitely feels as though it's an Uktena version of the Rite of the Gathering of the Departed. So none of you are completely lost in it. Because you can say, oh, okay, it's kind of like this, but it's all right. I see what they're doing here. So the same thing with the point as a Fianna, the point where you would probably do something with some imbibing. They do it here with some ritual smoke. Same thing with the Shadow Lords at that point where, you would talk about, you would brag about the deeds of one person. Here it's more solemn in reciting the deeds of some people. As a Wendigo, you can see that the spirits are more desert based. They are more winter and ice based that show up. Even for an Iron Rider, it's probably the most foreign to you because doesn't follow like in a specific corporate agenda. That is it's. You kind of follow. It's very as an Iron Rider. There's it's procedural instead of ritualistic. So you're the one. So you guys kind of notice as things kind of go through. It's that Bob seems to be the most at stumbling at some of the parts, but you easily pick it up.
To his brain damage.
He doesn't have brain damage. It's just it's exposed skull. Brain damage is a different level.
No, I'm sticking with the brain damage theory.
You eventually see Blessing home after the moot. She comes up to you, Bob, and says, we would be honored if you continued to be the cairn warder for the evening. Or until you leave.
I nod and accept that honor.
she looks at you, Blessing Home. Blessing Home looks at you, Phil, and she asks you for. She says, "Is there any advice?" They've asked me to be Sept leader, and since you're the Sept leader of this group, what do you have for advice for me?
Please. I mean, I guess the big advice I have to give is sometimes you need to do what you think is right, regardless of what everyone else thinks. And whenever everyone else is showing doubt, you have to show no fear and have a resolute plan.
Even when you're talking out of your ass.
Anything for like Chaska and RB as the Philodoxes? Anything that you guys see that should be in place before you guys leave Sun Arrow?
I actually look to RB and I say, what can you do financially to help them? Is there something you can leave behind? I know that your money isn't necessarily going to mean much internally, but if we can do something to help them, along, I think it would be appropriate.
That's a good idea.
Does anybody have contacts as a background?
You discouraged me from buying contacts.
Yeah.
Oh!
I was going to have contacts. For the
Contact this back then?
Nope.
Okay.
Hey, Barney.
Yeah.
I'm going to help Bob with the Karen ward.
Okay.
But instead of guarding the Karen, I'm going to scout outside of it, make sure no threats are coming in.
Okay.
I'll do it in Lupus, though.
You guys, did you two you do catch some errant Bane spirits, kind of, because you as a Karen warder, you kind of go in and out, between the near Umber and then the real world. Nothing that's going to get you any glory, but you do see there's a few Bane spirit, like minor gafflings that you're able to just quickly dispose of. It seems to be
those Bane spirits were coming to help. They were
Guys,
friendly Bane spirits.
Like, we got some secrets to tell you. No.
Yeah. We've realized the error of our ways. No.
We just want to go back to sleep.
It's kind of like the mud like puddles left over in a rainstorm. They're just residuals from the umbral storm that passed through.
So RB will be happy to have a sit down with their Sept leader and talk about whether they need any kind of investment financially to help build their Karn back up.
She looks like you say the words investment and monetary and things like that, and it's like you're talking with two heads. She has no idea what you mean.
What have I seen, though, for what's left? Do they have an actual town with an actual infrastructure and, like, real civilized things, or are they living all in a cave?
Yeah, it's all. But you do know. I mean, you guys did pass through, as I say. Is like there was that the. It's hard because I'm thinking also just from the strategic perspective of any wormcomers, and this is part and parcel of all of your tribes except Dale's, of course. Well, and also Mark's, but from a Fianna and a Shadow Lord, especially a Shadow Lord and especially an Iron Rider perspective, is all of your cairns that you've taken over you've taken over from an Uktena or a Wendigo. There was no cairns that you guys created on your own.
Wormbringer.
We don't create cairns. Guy
Well, I mean,
allows it.
if you say it that way, it sounds really bad.
So I mean, I'm just thinking from like a monetary perspective. If word gets out that there is a cairn that is that this powerful, that is lacking, I was just because your best bet would probably be to ask the Children of Gaia cairn that's nearby to help them out. That's the least. Do that. That's the least. But they could be more of like a ministerial in the sense of, like missionary work that go into third world countries.
That's gone super well in the past.
Yeah, so it's either that, or you might have, like I said, if a Shadow Lord Cairn finds out that this is, or even an Iron Rider Cairn.
Imagine if the Get find out how weak this Cairn is.
You do have a 6th-rank Get Theurge who knows how weak this Cairn is, and he talks to spirits. So,
yeah, this Cairn's is in more danger from us than the worm.
Yeah,
we've probably given them all smallpox anyway, just from being here.
Oh, too soon!
Oh, too soon.
No, but as I say, you do have an Agmar Runebreaker. First and foremost is a Get a Fenris, and if he sees weakness, and yeah, so I'm just.
Well, maybe do they need silver bullets?
Yeah, your mere their mere presence of you guys showing up here is probably I would say it's like the Storm Meter crippled it, but you guys are you're very present showing up here. Probably is without not knowing it by accident is probably put the nail in the coffin.
We know it now. Well, we could invite them. How big is our carriage?
It's huge. You can there's so much room.
Can we do Karn within Karn? How does that work?
You're asking them to abandon their home.
Yeah, the cairn is pretty much their location.
Yeah,
and we really can't pack it with us.
And the cairn needs to be defended anyway, whether it's from them or whoever takes it. It's not like they're not going to defend it if they take it. Sorry if that reality stings.
Yeah, speaking as another voice of awfulness here, there's unfortunately not a lot we can do. They just due to this mission we're on, they got fucked, and it's probably going to happen to more people along the way.
Well,
that's my inspirational words.
Did I see any sign of oil or anything? We could maybe snap up a few acres now.
All I gotta point out is that I never want any of you to think that I don't do anything about player agency, because I can tell you when you guys chose to go the Get Offenders first and not here first, it would have been a completely different game.
Oh, we would have been in the storm?
You would have. That would have been a completely different setup, yeah.
Well, that was Bob's decision.
And it was a good decision.
Not for them. You. Tough crowd.
Yeah, no, you guys were gonna be there and watch the storm come, and it would have been your
So we would have been able to see the guy die.
Yeah,
or he might not have died. I don't. Yeah.
Or another one of ours may have died.
It could have went worse for us.
Yeah, there could have been more 6 ranks there to die.
No, you only had treasured. You would have had treasured guest with you. That's the only one you would have had with you.
Bob knows what he's doing.
All right, so we're choosing our own adventure here. That's okay.
Yeah, let's go to the Amazon next.
Yeah, can I ask more follow-up questions about this high-ranked Uktena that disappeared into the Amazon?
You do find out that he.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
You do find out that he went out there in search of a land of giant spiders.
Oh, Jesus. I should have taken that resist toxin gift.
Anastasi?
I don't know.
We just came from a land of giant spiders. At least they were shacking up with us.
We could search the Amazon for a century and never find him.
Yeah, but we have Gaia on our side. It's not like the spirits are gonna not help us. If Gaia knows what's good for her.
What was this person searching for?
Meaning?
You said so. Land of giant spiders. I think I may have missed why he went there to the Amazon.
No, I'm saying he's searching for meaning, not
Meaning,
asking you what you mean.
I thought that was another character. Meaning, around 6 in the Amazon.
He's on a walkabout.
Yeah.
Well,
don't forget you also have that Shadia also knows of that red talon Arun and the silver fang Arun.
What was that?
Well, since the Uktena is a dead end, we may need to. We could check out this shot of Gaia Karen, I guess, since it's nearby, or go after the.
Oh, they can promise you there's no rank 6. If you'll know if there's they know if there was a rank 6 there or not.
Yeah, but they might be able to. The child of Gaia might be able to point us in the right direction.
Wait,
of their own.
What was the child of Gaia Karen again?
The closest Karen of significance.
Yeah, what was the name of it, Barney? Have we been there before?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'd say Silverfang's next. I don't think the storm's going to make it out there.
I think the Child of Gaia, by their very nature, are more likely to be attacked than the Silver Fangs. I would recommend them. And I think we're reaching critical mass on rank 6 before there's a fight, so I wouldn't mind having a Peacemaker.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Phil on this.
I think next time we bring in a strong personality, they're either going to have a fight with the Get who's giving battle scars to our own people, or there's going to be Miss Crazy and the Umbra for way too long is going to have issues with them. Saying they missed their time in the book or something like that. So I think we need a level head, especially now that we've hit our first significant setback.
Sorry, what is it? The one in the Amazon, is that a
Uktena, I think.
Yeah, but it's an Uktena. But what phase of the moon?
It was a Galliard.
Oh, let's go to the Amazon.
The Amazon is a pretty big place.
It's a river.
They have to, yeah, like I said, he went out there to find the land of giant spiders.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There can only be.
Yeah, you missed that part, Mike. When you
That's the
only
whole
be
Amazon.
lands of giant spiders near the Amazon. So we'll.
That's it.
You know.
How long has he been gone?
Who, me?
No, the Uktena.
Decades, as far as they know.
I was only gone for a couple minutes. I just had to use the restroom and thought it'd be disrespectful to the dead. No, I mean, if the Uktena's looking for a land of giant spiders, I mean, shoot.
And he's been looking for decades. He might very well be dead.
Seems unlikely.
He might have found what he's looking for and become lunch.
Mike, you have a way to find out.
Yeah, I do. I'm like, yeah, I could find out in a little bit if he's made contact with him if you want.
Oh.
Is this that creepy box you keep talking to?
As a matter of fact, it is my friend.
Wait,
I'll just even blurt that out for everybody. Yeah.
All right.
Matter of fact, my creepy box does give me contact to the land of giant spiders. That was on the instructions.
I will repeat what I have said in the past. Creepy fucking Shadow Lord.
So can we all put our cards on the? Does anyone have a Frankenstein ritual that can just bring this True River guy back to life?
A little
I
early
didn't-
for that, Arby, and I hope you don't say that out loud.
If you guys know a 6th rank Grawl, you could.
Well, no, she probably wasn't 6th ranked, the old
No,
woman.
she wasn't. She was like 3rd rank. Yeah.
But she was really old, so maybe she's made it up a rank or two.
All right.
No.
Do you want to role play that out, Mike? Do you want to talk to your box?
Yeah, I'll talk to my box.
Are you doing it in front of everybody, just for the sake of cinema?
Please.
Yeah, we'll just stand there and open up the box for everyone. Dun dun dun.
Bob, you you see a spider crawl out of the box and kind of crawl up, slap it down. Oh, it's a spider. It smells. You recognize the smell of the spider right away as Viola.
Oh.
So please. All right, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So this spider, is this like minuscule size, tarantula size? You know, how big is it?
About tarantula size, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that a part of her? I'll just ask Mike.
Yeah,
He let you keep one?
indeed, my friend.
That was the box you gave him, Bob.
Mhm.
Weren't you the one last season gave him? Didn't Viola give you the box and say, "Give this to Phil if he's still alive"?
Yeah, but I don't go through his shit.
Yeah. No, I was just making sure. I was just making sure it was. That was just You recognize the the box. Yeah.
That is actually a big load off my shoulders.
I don't go through it.
Now I gotta wonder why you're showing up in my cabin late at night.
All right, so go ahead and ask her the question.
You are besties, apparently.
So, say Viola, we could greatly use your assistance. We had a relatively old werewolf go into the Amazon to look for maybe a tribe of your people. Is this possible? Is there any spot in the Amazon?
She tells you, she kind of talks you through like mind speak in a way.
Mhm.
And she says that the 10, hang on, just give me 2 seconds. I need to get this right.
So how much of a bottle do you go through each game, Ryan?
Well, let's see.
Oh, my drink of choice.
We started up here on episode 2 when I joined. So
And where are you at now?
yeah,
Nice.
got to get into character.
Yeah, but you know, if you were a proper Fianna you would be drinking like Jameson or something like that.
But the Wild West theme is also important.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I'm having my harvest pumpkin wheat.
Ooh, a little late for that, isn't it? Isn't it? It's November.
I know. I love anything pumpkin.
Including pumpkin condoms.
I love my pumpkin condoms.
Pumpkin heads.
All right. She Viola tells you, she says, my sisters and I, we were part of the Teneri, which we were dedicated to the Weaver. A lot of the ones that you'll find around the wild are part of the Commodi, which follow the wild, and the group that you're referring to is part of the Hatar, which are the servants of the worm.
Ah, shit.
Oh boy.
But she says, but as Anasazi, we follow the worm not in its present form. We follow the worm as its original, as it's a member of the original triad. It's not the worm that you fight.
It's not the insane worm. It's what it was supposed to be.
And there was and we were all mothers. We're all children of Anasazi, Queen Anasazi herself.
So are these were spiders?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ew.
You haven't even heard their powers yet.
Yeah, save the ew till you actually know more.
And they're basically Anasazi is the Anasazi is what the were spiders are called. They're basically indestructible. It's almost impossible to kill an Anasazi because their lupus form is like 1,000 spiders. They just split up into 1,000 spiders.
They're very fine people.
He says that because he gets a little freaky with one of them.
She says, if you're interested in going to them, I can. My sisters and I can arrange. Well, what's the word I'm looking for, Mark? It's when you kind of have like not an armistice, but like a what do you call it when you kind of like it's allows
Deathmatch.
no like they won't attack you. It's like like when you send off
A flag of truce?
yeah, but it's not really a truce. It's like that's not an armistice. It's
not a parlay.
a parlay.
Oh,
It is a parlay.
Yeah. If that's something that you're interested in.
I think we all would be, wouldn't we?
If that's where we're headed, I guess that's what we need.
She says, I can arrange it.
How long will it take to arrange it?
I'll have to talk to my sisters, and then we'll have to talk directly to, and we're all in contact with Queen Anasazi herself while she's still held in prison.
So I mean, a couple days, couple hours.
And then we can arrange a time for, and then we can arrange a trip for you all.
We would be eternally grateful.
Raid hasn't been invented yet, has it?
No.
No. Well, I'd be eternally grateful. But yeah, I mean, I think this is something we definitely need to look at. And since we're not sure on how long it may take, do we want to try to make a progression towards our next recruitment as well?
You said you wanted to check out the children of Gaia, Karen. At least we can get some information on where their 6th rank is.
That's a good idea.
Wait.
Anything we want to do for these folks before we get out of Dodge?
Thank you, darling.
I would say the best thing we could do for them is keep a lid on what happened here.
Wait, Bob has some silver bullets. Can we leave them a 6-shooter full of 44s? I call that a rank 5 killer.
Assuming there's people here that even have the skill to use the weapon. Looks like a lot of the warriors are gone.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of get coming, they're too stupid to use silver bullets, so maybe you can scare them.
Get don't scare.
Maybe you can kill their leader. I don't know.
And I thought Phil was the eternal optimist.
All you need is one shot. One shot, one kill.
If the get are coming from this Karen, they're coming in strength. 6 bullets ain't gonna do shit.
I hate to say it, let them die with honor if that's all you got.
Did Barney just disappear?
There is no God anymore.
Everybody take 10 experience.
Yeah, the were spider got it.
God is dead.
Our mission next week is to find out what happened to Barney.
The Anastasia got him.
What a twist that would be.
That'd be M. Night Shyamalan stuff.
None of us saw the shadow come up behind him.
I don't know. I still think we need to collect the most high-profile ones first. They're not going to find that one in the woods.
I actually kind of like what Phil said. We are getting a lot of egos. You're going to stick a Silver Fang or a Red Talon into what we've already got. You want to talk about trouble. I think Phil's right. I think we need somebody who's going to lower the temperature in this stagecoach a couple degrees, and a Child of Guy would be perfect.
So
I don't condone racial profiling.
I'm sorry, what was that, Dale?
Do we know where the Wendigo can be found then?
I think the Wendigo and the Silver Fang were the errands, right?
Is it a good idea right now to have, if we get the Wendigo, to stick him in there with the Get? That can't end well.
Well, I think my point is, I don't really care, who it is, but what I'm thinking is I'm taking the temperature of the situation, that the Storm Eater is going to places that are relatively known to destroy to destroy the people that they want to destroy. It's not going to go rooting around in the Amazon. It's not going to probably go out into the woods to try and find this the lupus.
But here's then you've just made the point of why we don't need to go to the Amazon right now.
Yeah.
The worm's not going to go rooting around in the Amazon for a guy who's been missing for decades.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the Amazon.
Yeah, let's get the people up here, and then we can go down to the Amazon once we have information from our Anasazi contact.
I'm just assuming that the Silver Fang is sitting on a throne somewhere out in the middle of a, and that's just ripe for being attacked. And if we want to lose somebody else, let's wait and let him die, I guess.
I think it's a little disrespectful just to call her Anasazi contact. I think she should be called at least Phil's friend. Just throwing that out there.
Is she going to be offended if we have a rain check about when we want to go visit her?
They don't have emotions.
Oh, well,
that's what you say. Yeah. But probably not. I mean, I think they understand our concept at the time slightly different than theirs. I don't think they're going to mind. I think they can. I think as long as we set a date and we stick to it, we should be okay. And they still need to actually confirm that their friends won't kill us right when we get there.
Wait, are you talking about a wedding or just a meeting? Jesus.
Kind of both.
Costa, do you have any idea where
someone has a call?
Barney's calling us.
Yeah, I saw that.
Barney?
What do we do?
Whoa, you're on a different screen.
Yeah, he's on my phone.
Can you hold your phone up to the monitor and we'll just do that the rest of the night?
There's Barney.
What was that, Barney? I can't hear you.
His internet went out. We're kind of wrapped up anyway.
Tell him we got the Uktena already.
Yeah, we got the Uktena. Everyone's rank 5. Congratulations, everyone.
Well, shit, if we're rank 5, that means we're really close to rank 6. So we just need one more episode where Barney's internet goes out.
Yeah.
And we're all set.
If we actually promote all of ourselves to rank 6, we just solved a whole lot of problems.
Well, that means that means Arby's expendable because we've already got a Fianna.
We got a Fianna.
Oh, I don't think that means RB's the expendable one.
I think